to the Fans POV. This is for CPAC in Hoboken, New Jersey. First thoughts?
Well, I haven't really been to a CPAC. This is my first one. I have to say, it's a different environment than the other cons I've been to. It's a lot calmer, so I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The campus is very lovely.
Oh, it is very pretty. It's got a nice view right on the Hudson.
Oh, it has a fantastic view.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, if there's something that there that you might not like, or something you might not do while you're waiting between panel to panel, I mean, if anything, just walk around. I mean, especially during this time, it's actually really gorgeous.
The weather was really nice yesterday. Okay, so newbie reactions. What do you think of the con itself? Let's start with you.
Almost kind of reminded me of going to Icon the first time a little bit. In the sense that it was, you know, just very basic, more or less. Not a whole heck of a lot of programming. Nobody really super huge there, to my knowledge. So almost like a good one if you're kind of getting your feet wet as far as con going is concerned. It's a good one to start with.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, if it's one of those things, if you're not looking for like a 3-day con, but you're looking for something just to kind of do, like say either, you know, your day off or my dad, if you want to go to a convention, it's really kind of a chill place. It's really, you know, relaxing, and like you know, like he mentioned, there's not usually a lot of big name people, so you don't really see a lot of crowds. So that way, if that's something you want to avoid, you know, it's kind of a good thing to do. I mean, especially like you know, if it is your first con you've ever gone to, you kind of want to start small and kind of work your way up. I mean, CPAC would actually pretty much be the way to go.
Okay. You guys have never been there before. This was your first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As someone who's been there before, I do have to say I was a little disappointed in their lack of programming. Usually they have a lot more stuff to do, so I was a little bit disappointed. And speaking of programming, did anything catch you guys' attention?
Not really.
For you, yeah. I mean, the one thing that I saw, I mean, aside from just the one Italia panel that we went to, really not too much that really caught me out. I mean, the fact that it had Kyle Herbert there, and me being a big Street Fighter fan, I was kind of like, you know, like we got there late, but I kind of wanted to at least check that out. But nothing really that I would say would be amazing. So.
But was there anything that you liked, you were interested in going to? And we did miss a few things by getting there late.
We did, yeah. But like I said, the main thing was really just anything related to Kyle Herbert that he was doing the Q&A, and then also something to do with voice acting in video gaming, which is something I've always been interested in not really doing, which is something that I follow. So.
And you?
I honestly didn't really get too much of a chance to look at the guide, so didn't really get a chance to check anything out.
You got one of these.
Sweet.
We didn't really spend a whole lot of time going from programming to programming, mostly because there were huge gaps in between. I think the panel we went to had, what, like an hour-and-a-half gap between the next thing in that room?
Yeah, approximately.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of dead space that they didn't fill, at least as far as I'm aware. I'm sure something might have happened in those rooms. Also in programming was the dealer's room.
Yes.
Gentlemen.
Good dealer's room.
Which I could pretty much say that I'm wearing probably my purchase from the dealer's room.
Yeah,
and it was,
about that.
I will say,
my stuff on me.
yeah, I will say, and this is actually very surprising. I found a lot of good stuff at this dealer's room that I've rarely seen at other cons. So.
Why is that surprising?
Well, given the size
For
of
a
the
small con.
Well, it's also, you know what it is? It's also like you see so many vendors at much bigger cons, so you think the variety is a little bit better, if you will. But I mean, the fact that, like, you know, given the volume and really the size of the room and all that, I mean,
It's quality over quantity.
hey, yeah, you know what? That I'll go with. Yeah.
There were a lot of interesting things there. For example, I am now permanently grumpy.
No, not yet. There you go.
Ow.
That didn't work.
Yes.
We're in a clip. Sorry.
Yes, she's perfect.
I'm
at
permanently grumpy. Stop. I can't do cat photos. Anyway, dealer's room. What did you think of it? What did you get in it?
Well, I sort of scavenged from you guys a little bit with those 3 for $5 button things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, okay, there was
So I have the
buttons.
I have an America flag one and the Assassin's Creed one, and there
So you had a theme going.
inadvertently.
Yeah, as we can see, is I bought angels and a cat.
Yeah, and this is my first BioShock shirt, and I'm definitely proud of it. And with my unhealthy obsession with Skullgirls, I happen to get pins and a 8-ball bomb plush, which I am gonna attach.
It's not a bomb, is it?
No, it's a
little boy.
You just called it a bomb.
It's a little bomb plush.
8-ball, he said.
8-ball bomb plush.
Why do you not have it for the camera?
That's why.
Katie, don't say a word.
So dealer's room, satisfactory or?
Indeed,
Yeah.
satisfactory.
Very satisfactory.
Quite surprised, actually.
So CPAC, good job on the shopping.
Man.
Yeah.
But main events, they did have a rave, they did have a small masquerade, and they did have a
Concert.
They did have a concert.
They did have a concert.
Yes. None of which we were able to get to because the lines took up all of our time. So unfortunately, we have no footage of that. Did you guys even hear of who was performing? Because honestly, I have no idea who they are.
I don't remember her name, but I was reading up on it.
It sounded really good.
Yeah.
But I honestly have never heard of her before.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what I've been reading is like she's like I correct me if I'm wrong, but she's like American born, and then she's like, and then she eventually went back to Japan, and she's like really popular. So.
Kaylee.
Kaylee?
That who you
No.
Okay.
It's somebody else, but it's. I mean.
Sounds the same.
Yeah, but otherwise I heard she's pretty popular for what she does. So, I mean, from the clip that I actually got a chance to hear, it's not bad. It's pretty good.
I'm sure it was a fantastic time, and unfortunately, we had to wait online for tickets.
Yeah.
So speaking of other people, cosplayers. Any good ones? Any bad ones? Anything you want to talk about?
Good ones. This is probably This is me. I mean, obviously not yet referring to future cons, but I actually saw one of the best Zeldas I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was
Zelda
a good
from
Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda.
The Twilight. It was actually the Ocarina of Time version.
Ocarina of Time Zelda is the best Zelda you've ever seen.
Well, this one, yes. I mean, there's like the amount of detail, like attention to detail, and really just also Shadow Ocarina always wins points on me. It's like she was playing it when I was taking the picture. So
Oh, is that what that was? That little blue
thing, yeah. That she was
Okay.
actually playing the Zelda lullabies.
You can tell how often I play those games.
Well, yeah.
And you, what was you gonna say?
I'm gonna saw a lot of first attempts. It looked like.
There were a lot of younger people at this convention, so yes, it is.
Lots and lots.
As we said before, it's a very good. It's laid back. It's good for younger people who haven't quite gotten their con chops yet.
Yeah.
So-
However, there's a cosplay which I know me and you would agree on, and those are the two BSAA agents.
Those
from
guys
Resident
were
Evil.
really good.
Yeah,
those guys were really, really
Yeah,
good.
they're
Those are what exactly?
They're
military.
they're counter bioterror agents from the Resident Evil series.
Yeah.
So they're soldiers.
Yes, they're
Basically,
very.
yeah.
Okay.
And even down to like the way they acted, the way they're walking around, to the gear they wore. They literally stuck to the character.
Very, very, very good attention to detail. And I would have to venture a guess that these guys maybe were airsofters, because why else would you just buy all this for cosplay?
Unless they are military.
Because it's cosplay.
Unless they are military.
Cosplay. That's why you buy stuff for cosplay.
That's too. You know?
I guess.
Yeah.
So ratings 1 to 10, and why?
This is tough.
I would give it a little more of a 5.
That's actually what I was gonna go with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good starter con. So
It's a good beginner con, definitely. Yeah. I mean, if you're like us and you've been to bigger cons, it might seem, I don't know, maybe slightly on the boring side, just because it's some of the bigger stuff. There's always something going on, always something to do. At this one, not so much.
And I wouldn't necessarily say it's boring. I would actually say it's a little bit more, like I keep saying, is chill. Like it's a good place if you want to cosplay, you want to go do something, and you meet up with a bunch of good people, get together with friends. That's the reason why. I mean, also because of the fact that it isn't a massive con. Obviously, there's really not too much to expect out of just that one day. I mean, obviously, you can't really stuff as much possible things in there. So it's a good place just to kind of like, if you're really into cosplaying, or if you're not, or if you enjoy looking at cosplayers, it's a good way to spend Sunday. So
Okay, you guys are being pretty fair. As someone who has been to CPAC before, I'm actually going to give it more like a 4, because I do expect a little bit better from them. I have seen them with more dense programming. I've seen them with more stuff to do. I've seen them with more varied guests. So a little bit disappointed this year, guys, but I know you can do better, and that's why. Be nice. So will you be back next year?
Maybe.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, for the price to get in and just for like the
It is a very good price, especially for what they give you. It's a fantastic price for what they give you.
Oh yeah, and even then, the location, like
It is pretty.
yeah. If you really just like if you want to spend some time in between panels or in between events, just walk around. There's a lot of stuff to do. So it's if not for the con, also for the location.
I'm gonna hang on to him. I'm gonna hang on to maybe if there's any way to get advanced preview of what's gonna be there or how everything's set up. Maybe I'll go. But
No, you can always host a
something
panel, and then you'll be short of something to do for at least an hour.
That's
something, but for yes, it is very close proximity to the greater New York area, and worst comes to worst, the area that it's in, there's plenty of restaurants. There's some cool shops. We spent like an hour in a used bookstore,
Something like
just
that.
looking over everything and kind of making fun of some stuff.
Yeah, if you get out early, or if you get there too early, or anything like that, the neighborhood in and around the Stevens Institute is a very college neighborhood. You can tell it's a college neighborhood. There's lots of little restaurants, there's lots of little boutiques, there's lots of really good nooks and crannies to go find. So there's a lot of things to do in the area outside of the school also.
And if worst comes to worst, get back on the road, cross the bridge, and go into the city.
Well, there is always the city. So, what is our next episode?
I believe it is the Steampunks World Fair, if I'm not mistaken. No?
Sakura Matsuri.
Oh, we are going to that?
Sakura Matsuri, we're going to be there April 28th this Sunday
Okay.
instead of Saturday.
So we will see you next at Sakura Matsuri in Brooklyn on April 28th. We hope to see you there.